Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to start with an activity to open, to unite, and connect. So when the music starts, you're going to hear run in, run in, run in, run in. I would like you to jog in place. And then when the music gets started, I want everyone to run around the room full of energy, making eye contact, and give your neighbors a double high five. All right, let's get started. So after our opening activity, and we use the song Run In and Run, Let's Get This Party Started. It's usually by the Black Eyed Peas, but Kids Bop has a good version of that. It's really important to build connection. So, welcome to our school family. I'm sure you're feeling anxious and excited about the presentation. This icebreaker was designed to get to know each other, reduce anxiety and stress, and let you know that we are all in this together. This technique promotes self-regulation, it breaks the monotony of the day, it raises your heart rate, and brings focus to the task at hand. So the reason we're here tonight, understanding complex trauma. My name is Gina Williams-James. I'm currently a 3rd through 5th grade special education teacher. I'm also part of our Conscious Discipline Action Team, where we're implementing conscious discipline and SEL practices school-wide. So trauma. What can we really expect children from trauma? Can we expect them to perform academically at school? I started this project to better serve and understand my students. I have spent 26 years in the classroom. I have seen students suffer, they're fearful, depressed, acting out. I have an adopted son from trauma, so this is near and dear to my heart. I completed my bachelor's for general education and special education. I'm certified as an ABA, CPI, a reading specialist, and trained in conscious discipline for social emotional learning, trauma, and autism. I am about to finish my master's degree in social emotional learning. My goal is to give therapeutic support, safety, connection, and self-management so my children can become effective problem solvers, find hope, and the light at the end of the tunnel. So, what is complex trauma? When a child is exposed to a terrible event multiple times. We see this often in children in foster care. They usually experience a traumatic event for extended periods of time. It can be abuse or neglect. Children can suffer from accidents, natural disasters, poverty, violent acts, physical or mental abuse, death of a loved one, bullying, being attacked, autism, and even the pandemic. Children from trauma have their guard up. Children with complex trauma are in a constant state of survival. They do not feel safe or in control. They spend most of their day in their lower brain state, in a fight or flight situation. So, what does this look like in our classroom? Instead of them being able to focus on reading, writing, and math, even friends, they can act out or shut down. It can be self-injurious behavior, destruction of property. They shout profanity, run out of class. They try to hide or escape, things that can be dangerous to themselves or others. They look at everything, they perceive everything as a threat. They can be triggered by the simplest sound, smell, touch, even light. So this has physical effects on their mind and body. Children from trauma often complain of chronic headaches and tummy aches. They live in fight or flight, and they can be extremely withdrawn. This is due to an overactive or underactive response to trauma. So the interior syndregulate, it's connected to the prefrontal cortex. It is enlarged after experiencing trauma. So your body is physically changing. This is responsible for regulating our emotions, so it is no wonder that they can't sit in a chair or focus on academics. Children from trauma cannot regulate their emotions. They can present as depressed, anxious, or angry. They have even become disassociated to reality. A child may have learned to mentally separate themselves from an experience. They cannot always control when this happens. They can be left with gaps or no memory of periods of time in the day. At school, it can look like daydreaming or spacing out. They're disassociating from reality. This cuts them off from school, family, reality, and every day. And like I said before, we all need that connection. So think about a time that you were frustrated. What helped you? Who helped you? I'm going to have you turn to the person next to you and share. What strategies did you use? What helped you calm down? I'm going to give you 2 minutes. When you were frustrated, did you have a behavior? Did you act out? So we need to feel safe and calm to access our higher brain states. With a constant state of turmoil, these children are easily triggered or set off. They cannot self-regulate, control impulses, or think through their consequences. They are at risk to self-soothe, and they can turn to drugs, alcohol, unsafe sex practices, and unhealthy risk-taking. They turn to these interventions. If interventions are not in place, they turn to these to cope, numb the pain, reduce anxiety, and to feel anything else. So what can we do? We're going to start with the 4 R's. First, we need to realize that it is not about us. They are not trying to ruin our day. They cannot self-regulate their emotions. They need someone to show them how. They recognize these signs. What their triggers are. Are they safe? Are you a person they can trust in their lives? Then we respond by creating a safe place for them, building a therapeutic rapport and connection. Show them love, kindness, caring, and be patient. It takes time. Finally, resist things that will cause further trauma to the child. It could include removing triggers, keeping people who negatively affect them out of their lives. Make choices that are helpful and not harmful for them. We need to empower these children with hope, control, and a purpose. Self-worth and value come from our perception of how others see you. Unfortunately, these kids feel shame, low self-esteem, damage, they feel powerless, they have a poor self-image. We need to show them that they have value, and their actions can have positive meanings. We do this by building safety, trust, setting goals, and guiding them to reach the path to reach those goals. So there's 6 key principles of trauma-informed approach. We cover a lot of these through our conscious discipline practices and just that social emotional learning aspect in school. First, number 1, we have to build safety. They have to know that they're safe. They're safe where they are. They have a safe place to go when they're feeling nervous. They have to feel safety. They have to know they're safe. Also, building that trustworthy and transparency. Talking openly and honestly, building that relationship, connecting with them, connecting them to friends. Peer support is where they have friends, they have a feeling of belonging to school, to the school, to our school family, to themselves, to their family at home. Takes a lot of collaboration. We're going to work with counselors, the parents, the teachers. We all want to be on the same page. We're all working for the same goal, and we should work together. Empowerment, voice, and choice. We have to give some control back to these kids. They need victim empowerment. They need to have their voice heard. We can teach them assertive talking, to say what they need and what they want. We need to give them choices, give them that control back. And it's also important to have equity in a cultural responsive classroom that shows, appreciates, and values their culture's history, gender issues, whatever they're struggling with. So there's screeners and assessments. These are tools that better help us address the child's greatest need. These can be performed by the pediatrician, mental health professionals, and education specialists. They facilitate the plan of action. They focus on the symptoms and determine the best intervention. It helps guide us so we can reach their goal. Some of these interventions are done in a therapy, in a counseling office. The most successful therapy-based intervention is the trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy. It includes a prolonged therapy where they gradually increase the amount of time you can undergo stress, teaches them coping strategies, and it can also be used with antidepressants and mood stabilizers. CPP is also used in a therapy setting for children under 5 and works with the parent and child to build trust and attachment. And then finally, the ARC framework is used in schools as a therapeutic model. It works on making connections, self-regulation strategies, choice, empowerment, effective decision-making, engagement, like what does this goal matter, psychoeducation, why are we doing this, and a routine, so they know what they can expect. It allows them to have victim empowerment and set goals for the future instead of focusing on survival. So what does this look like in our classroom? In the classroom, we practice many conscious discipline strategies. We practice taking our deep breath. We have different names for them: star breathing, bubble breathing, drain breathing. Fun ways to engage the kids so that they are doing deep breathing techniques to calm themselves and get out of that lower brain state and move into their executive functioning state where they can make choices and decisions. We have to provide a safe place. That's more than just telling them that they're safe at school. We have to give them a place where they're comfortable, where they can go and relax and take a time or take a minute for themselves. We have to show them that they're safe and that we're all in this together. We make a daily ritual commitment every day where we put a seashell in the box, and my job is to keep them safe, and their job is to help keep it safe, and we talk about what that means all day long. We build positive relationships, making those connections with peers and staff. Having that therapeutic rapport and a trusted adult in their life can make all the difference. I create a school climate that promotes SEL. We teach the Castle 5: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationships, and responsible problem-solving skills. We teach them to use their assertive voice. I don't like when you take the ball for me. Can you please ask me next time? Teaching them how to use their words in a way that helps them solve conflict resolution. We create opportunities for them to demonstrate independent, effective problem-solving skills. And we also give them hope, value, and show them the path to the light. I want to thank you for coming to my presentation tonight. I hope this helps you understand chronic trauma a little bit more and the skills that are necessary in schools and out of schools so that we're all working together to form one big connection with safety, connection, effective problem solving, loving support, and patience.